G'day everyone, we are going to do some free motion quilting on here. So I'm going to set up my machine and everything, but first things first, I want to explain difference between gloves. I don't have other gloves to show you, but what I do have is experience. So my name is Michelle, I'm from Michelle's Patchwork, and I have been using gloves for many years. And I used to use what they used to call grabberoos, and they would literally cover your whole hand and up to here, and they'd have little dot things on there for you to grab. Which is fine if that's how you want to hold your hands, but I'll explain to you why these ones are better very shortly. What I have is Michelle's Easy Quilters. Okay, so these are designed to go on your middle and pointer finger. They are Velcro. They're one size fits all. You slide them on, or you undo it and put your fingers in. The Velcro always points away, but what you'll notice is that on here is like padding, and it will grab. So I'm no longer using my fingers, and I'll explain to you when I start quilting why that is important. The other thing too is I'm not overheating because they're not covering my wrist. I'm not having to rip them off just to change a thread or a needle. And if you're doing anything like textile arts, you'll want to change threads like thread work or collage or whatever like that, or applique. You want to change your threads heaps. So these leave my fingers free, which means they get very comfortable. So that is the Easy Quilters. They are on the ones on the website, but I'm going to go through and show you how I use them and why they're so good. The Easy Quilters come in 5 different colours. You have your blue, you have your pink, there's black, lime green, and aqua. They are all the same pricing and all the same size. I have a blue pair, and we are going to use, I'm going to use these today and show you how I set up the machine. So first things first, I put the tension, the top tension, which is at the top of the machine, I put that on a number 5.5 to 6 roughly. I have my 3 layers of fabric, or 2 layers of fabric and 1 wadding in between. Okay, can be any kind. So that's my sandwich, what we would call a sandwich. I have my walking foot. Start again. I have my free motion quilting foot on there. And I also have my machine set up for free motion quilting, and my feed dogs are down. That's very important also. So they're the main things that you want to have ready to go. Okay, so I've got my gloves on, my machine is ready, and I'm just going to pull it in a little bit closer to me. Hopefully you can see really well. I've tried to set the camera up as close as I can. And the thread I am using is a blue thread, so you should be able to see it. Now, when I have my hands in the down position, my hands are now like this. Not like this. As soon as I do that, my shoulders lift and my elbows lift. They are down nice and flat, and that is due to these. When you do your free motion quilting, you'll have like there's different types of feet out there. This one's a little bit different. There's this one as well. There's also the ruler foot as well. That's another one that will work also. I'm just going to sort of, scribble everywhere and anywhere, just so you can see how easy it is to move my hands. Now, I will always put the needle in the down position when I finish. I start with my speed on my machine around about half, and then I speed it up as I need to. And I don't use a foot pedal, I use a stop-start button, so you'll see and hear me do that. You can do that too if you've got that ability. Otherwise, you just use your foot pedal and keep it nice and steady. So these gloves mean that I can actually keep my hands nice and still. I'm not lifting them up until I need to get to that spot where my hands are. or I run out of space. So you can see I'm taking it nice and steady. You don't have to go 100 miles an hour. And the other thing I do is I always make sure that at some point my hand, at least one hand at all times is on the fabric. So even when I press stop, that hand is on the fabric while I, excuse me, while I press stop, and I wait until my needle goes down in the down position, and then I stop and I reposition my hands. And then I press start again, or you put your foot down on your pedal. Now, if you're getting large and short stitches, that's because your foot might be moving as you're sewing, so it might lift up and release a bit of pressure, and you tend to do that subconsciously. That's why I use the stop start button. It takes that factor out of it, and I use these gloves because it makes my life a lot easier. Okay. So hopefully you can see what I'm doing there. I'll show you. So I've just been traveling along, having a bit of a scribble, and it's not perfect, and that's okay. If it was white on white, you wouldn't see all my little indiscretions and my little jumps and bits and pieces, and that's what I want you to concentrate on. But get yourself the right tools. The tools are the most important thing. You want a pair of gloves that are going to keep your hands down, your elbows down at your side, so you're nice and relaxed, and not sitting like that, not with your fingers up like that. As soon as you do that, it just becomes a lot of stress up your shoulders and into your neck, and it does become quite painful after a while. So get some nice tools. One of them is that. I used to use a slider mat. I don't need to anymore because it just moves nice and easy. I mean, I can move it with my fingers, but pushing, I've got to really push. With that, I've got the very lightest of light touches. Very, very light touch. Very, very light. I don't have to push down. If I push down hard, it creates resistance. It's just a light touch, and that holds that fabric and moves it along. All 3 layers of it at the one time. Just absolutely fabulous and exactly what you need. So I hope that that has answered a bit of a question on these gloves and why they're so good, and I hope that I see you with them, and if you don't, happy sewing anyway. But they are a really good pair of gloves to be sewing with, and very easy to use and take on and off. You can Velcro, or you can slide them off like I do, and then they're ready to go. Okay, so that means that I can actually take them on and off anytime I like without having to, you know, turn them out the right way and all that jazz. And they are just made for quilting. They're absolutely fantastic. So happy quilting, and I'll answer any questions you need.